How much would you say you invest every year right now in startups?
Well, now because I'm on Shark Tank, I invest solely on just that show.
And it's a show in which you do invest
Well,
in.
Shark Tank is a show that myself and 4 other individuals, we look at companies and people go onto the show and they say, well, you know what, I need $200,000 and I'll give you 20% of my company. And if I think that's valid, I may say I'll give you $200,000 for 20%, or I may want 50% if I like it. You have to either leave with the money or not, but you can, that's the only thing you can't change, but the percentage can be negotiated. So I invest probably about 5 of those companies a year, and it could be up to about $2 million.
You said in your book that you think that there are more barriers now to starting companies in the U.S. than when you founded FUBU.
Yeah.
Explain that to me.
Well, I think that now, obviously, we're going through a financial strain. And so even if you have the wherewithal to get financing, the customer doesn't even have credit. And I'm not even talking about the everyday customer. I'm talking about the stores are having a hard time.
In your book, you say you take a passive-aggressive attitude to making deals. So you like to back off before you sign it.
Yes.
What are you backing off of right now?
I'm backing off of an acquisition of 1 or 2 other apparel brands. One that is what people may consider defunct and old, that I think is in the sports arena that does not cannibalize my brands. And I was approached with everything from Rockaware to Sean John to all the music-related brands with artists. And I just don't know sometimes if I want to deal with that, because sometimes an artist, unfortunately, you can't fit their head in the room when you're trying to have a deal with them. I'm interested in a new artist that has a potentially large following, and I may be backing off, because not that I can't fit them in the room, I just can't get them in the room. They're so busy running around. So those are the ones I'm considering, and you know what, next week I'll be considering something else.
So what makes you pull the trigger?
What makes me pull the trigger is when I can't sleep at night and I start thinking about all the extensions of the brand and I start talking to people. I used to pull the trigger really, really quick years ago, but now I just like to settle back, and then something will give me a sign, whether it's my daughter singing the guy's song or that other clothing line that I see that a bum walking down the street. Something is going to make me do it. I'm really about karma and signs like that, so something will make me pull that trigger. And if that happens, then I only have half the chance of failing at it.
Is there a difference in the angel investing community that invests in Hispanic or in minority entrepreneurs?
To me, it's not an issue. To me, the only color in business is green. But that's where it comes to when I write the books. I do believe that the books are helpful for those. I grew up with a single mom who needed the education. Some of these people who don't know how to get into these rooms and speak to these people and know what they need to do. So when it comes down to negotiating and angel investments, I don't look at a color, and I really have not ever noticed that as an issue.
Going from Queens to what you're doing now, what's the biggest takeaway you could give an entrepreneur?
I think there's 2 or 3, and I think that first thing is to absolutely do something you love. That is the only thing that any successful and every successful person I've met have always done, is something they love. And if you don't get the monetary reward from it, you will still be rewarded. And I always tell people that ignorance is the only thing more expensive than education. And I'm lucky enough that I got over that hurdle. But before I ended up doing that distribution deal, I was probably about 1 month away from being homeless and bankrupt. And it was purely ignorance that got me to that level. So you always have to educate yourself in some form. Whether intern with somebody, read on the internet, go to school, whatever you have to do, that learning curve is very expensive.
Thanks for watching a special edition of Venture at Casa Del Mar in Santa Monica. Be sure to join us next week for more. In the meantime, you can follow me on Twitter. I'm Chris Valerio, also on Facebook at Bloomberg Venture. Thanks for watching.